This $500 million cruise has a secret billionaire club, and I'm going to try to sneak in and talk to billionaires and learn the secrets of getting rich fast. Because if I don't start making money very soon, my parents said I have to work at McDonald's for a few months. But before trying to sneak in the billionaire club, I think I need to practice by sneaking into the 18 plus club. I'm 17, by the way. So we immediately spotted the first security guard who was checking IDs left and right, but as we walk in, we noticed that there's only one security guard instead of two, so we think we might get in. Then we heard the worst thing a security guard could say. And I knew at that point I was screwed. There's no way I could get in unless I somehow found another way. The second attempt was pretty simple. All I had to do was fit in a small suitcase just to have someone roll it in, but nobody in my family that was over 18 wanted to risk getting caught because of that $500 misconduct fee, so scratch that. So our real attempt too was trying to sneak in using our parents. As I walked closer, I remember that there's a $500 misconduct penalty, so the entire video will be extremely risky because we do insane things like sneaking into secret areas to talk to world famous comedians, brainwashing Indian moms, sneaking around to talk to millionaires, and even trying to make $1,000 in one day, plus getting interviewed by the Wall Street Journal. So as we were walking up, she immediately says she doesn't care if we have our parents, we're not getting in. So we had another plan. This 18 plus club happened to have a comedian, so what if we just became really good friends with the comedian so that he could sneak us in? So our new plan was to find the world famous comedian performing on day 2 at 7 p.m. so we had to find him before he performs. And as we were looking for the comedian, we randomly stumbled upon this giant dance area with tons of NPCs. I mean, look at this girl. So we had a great idea. This whole cruise was about me stepping outside of my comfort zone. You know, you gotta live outside your comfort zone. I wanted to improve my social skills and confidence, so I thought, what if I just commanded the entire area to form a giant dance circle? And if we succeeded in that, we would probably have enough confidence to step out our comfort zone and sneak into the billionaires lounge when that comes around on day 4. So all we had to do was just form a giant dance circle, but that was where we had a big problem. The host literally just said, as we were about to do that, let's form a giant dance circle. And that just ruined our plan because, you know, the goal was already completed. But then I realized, what if I just get out my comfort zone by dancing with some random Indian moms? And little did I know I was about to brainwash them, but I didn't want to ruin their trip by having some random teenager just shove themselves into the circle and dance with them, right? But you know, I ended up brainwashing them by accident because I joined them and they all just started copying exactly what I was doing. And now it's day 2. We're going to continue with our journey of finding the world famous comedian because, you know, if anyone can sneak us into the club, it's him. So our new goal, find the comedian before 7 p.m. We look around for a bit and then realized that the comedian was just probably doing something fun. So we kept looking and looking until we finally went to comedy. So since we wanted to step out our comfort zone a little bit, our goal was to get the entire crowd to cheer as we were looking for the comedian. So then me and my brother went up there to dance to try to get the whole crowd to cheer, and it was just so bad. So then we realized the only other way to get the entire crowd to cheer is if we actually go up there and embarrass ourselves by singing and dancing. And, you know, hint, hint, maybe even getting Jasmine to come to the stage with us to go crazy. So as I'm waiting for my turn at karaoke, I was actually kind of nervous because we chose a song that was cringy and we both had only heard it maybe twice about a year ago, and I had no idea how the song went. And everyone before us was getting the crowd to cheer, especially this drunk dude. So as I go up, I knew I needed more than just singing the song, and I told this girl, you know what? I need some background dancers. You want to join me, Jasmine? Bro, she was like, oh yeah, of course. So she boomed to the stage, and then we sang with her, and we hoped for that crowd to just cheer really loud, but this girl started twerking on me, and I ran away, and the crowd did not seem intrigued. And that whole experience actually improved my confidence a lot, because I was actually nervous to do that, but I had to step out my comfort zone, you know? And as we left karaoke, something weird happened.
He has appeared on HBO, ABC. Would you please give a warm welcome to Cyrus Steele?
And no, I am not the black guy from This Is Us.
And the comedian literally just appeared in the elevator, and we ran over to try to talk to him using the techniques from this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The goal was to get him to like us because it was our only chance of sneaking into the 18 plus club. And maybe he can even sneak us into the secret billionaire club on day 4 as well. So there were 3 techniques we tried on him, and if you actually try them sincerely, anyone will actually like you. So technique number 1, remember their name, and then the next time you see them, I do this at the gym a lot, you can go up to them and then say, yo, what's good, whatever their name is, and then that's how you can start a conversation next time you see them.
What's the name? Cam. Cam, nice to meet you.
And they will love you. And technique number 2 is just literally give sincere compliments. I mean, if I like this dude's denim jacket, I don't really like it, so I'm not going to compliment it, but just compliment them. Technique number 3, literally ask them questions. Look at this right here.
What you been up to on the cruise?
Nothing much. I'm just waiting to get to the
I guess half.
In a fun little game, it sounds horrible because it's so manipulative, but try to get them to talk for as long as possible, and that kind of directly correlates to how much they'll like you. But then after all that effort of trying to get that world famous comedian to like us, we realized a big mistake. That was not the comedian performing tonight. So now our goal is to actually find the right comedian. So then we go to this jewelry store. We're asking all these salesmen what they do to sell and all that. So then we leave and we see this giant big dude, and my brother goes up to him. He's like,
Where'd you get that from?
but then out of the blue, the famous comedian that we were trying to find the whole time ends up appearing, and we try all 3 techniques on him to see if we can get him to like us so that he can let us into the 18+ club and possibly Billionaire Club. So we got his name. We said he was actually funny outside of his comedy shows as well, and we even listened to him beat up my brother and teach us about his karate.
If you push me, push. Go ahead, push me. No, push with both hands, right? I'm gonna push back. Now you're younger than me, you're stronger than me. Now push. That's fine. Go that way.
Then it was finally time to sneak in the 18+ club, and if we got into that, we could probably easily sneak into the Billionaire Club as well. But there was a big problem. The security guard already caught us twice. There was a $500 misconduct fee, so we had to go through the hidden crew-only entrance. And from what I was seeing, this is dangerous. There are employees walking by every single minute. One time I had an employee tell me I literally can't be in there, and he told me to go back where I came from. So we entered the crew-only hallway, but this was a long hallway. We had about a minute of walking to go, and we were making sure nobody saw us.
It says crew only, but just check.
I kept looking behind me for security, and I knew that this was our only chance. So as we got closer and closer to the door, I was getting really nervous. Even if I did open this door right here to get into the 18+ club, I knew that there was a high chance that there was security guards and workers standing right there. And I knew I had to go now. The show was starting soon, and we couldn't get caught in the hallway, so I just had to go for it. And the only person that saw me was this old lady that got super scared. Woo! We did it! Let's go! I was super relieved to see that we actually got in, but now that we figured out how to get into the 18+ club, why not try that for the Billionaire Club on day 4? Then I realized that we would have to go through the kitchen to get into the Billionaires Club, and it was way too easy to get caught, so we have to find a way to get in. And then I thought, why don't I just become friends with a millionaire and then get them to bring us in there with them? But I knew the hard part was finding a millionaire, and that was the new goal. And this journey got us interviewed by the Wall Street Journal, kicked out of the casino, and finally trying to talk to billionaires like MrBeast and Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So the first person that I saw that actually looked like a millionaire was this person right here, because everyone else was like 400 pounds. They're not going to delay gratification and get rich. And on the last cruise, we asked old people if we could sit with them and we could talk with them for an hour about their life advice. So my goal here was to get a seat at their table.
What is this happening right now?
I have no idea.
Oh.
We just saw the mess around.
Were you there?
No.
Oh.
It was getting really awkward because I was standing still so much and not talking, but I knew my brother wanted me to get a seat at their table so we could talk with them. And it was just a complete fail.
Is it good if we sit down with y'all? Because we got nothing to do.
No, that's okay. We got some other folks gonna be.
Oh, okay. Alright. Alright, y'all have a good one.
Okay.
As we were looking for a millionaire to sneak us into the Billionaire Club, I knew I had to improve my confidence by talking to some girls, and it did not go well. So my goal was to talk with some girl for at least a minute.
How much is a bag?
Spare.
Is there any way I can get something for free to try it? No? What about just one of these? Okay.
Then I shamefully walked out of the store.
Anyone win this game?
Yeah, they showed like video. Like I was telling him, it's like a skill game.
I was thinking to myself, we both know this is not no skill game. I've seen 100 people play and lose. Then me and this girl ended up talking for like 3 minutes, and she kept saying that every time she walks by this game, she spends $5 to play. And
Have you ever heard that statistic where it's like 90% of gamblers stop gambling before they big win?
our goal was to convince her that this is a real statistic.
Do you think that applies to you? Yeah.
I think what applies to me is you need to go.
Yeah, have a good one.
But then as we're trying to find more millionaires, we look and we see someone getting interviewed. So we're like, okay, if this dude's interviewing people, he might be a millionaire, or maybe he's interviewed millionaires on how to get rich, right? So my goal was to ask him if he had any secrets to getting rich. And actually right before this, my brother said to me that I was off my game, and I just needed to prove to myself that my social skills were there. I mean, the whole cruise, I felt like I was just not on top of it. In this moment, when I saw this journalist, he was running away, but I knew I couldn't fail and just give up. I really needed to prove to myself that I was on top of my game, especially during this long summer break where I was not really talking to that many people.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Were you just interviewing people over there?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing the interview for?
I'm a reporter with the Wall Street Journal, so I'm yeah, so it's like here. Wow. Yeah, I'm a travel reporter, so
Wow.
yeah.
I see you have a Disney background. Got to do with all the cruisers?
This is the first time I've done a cruise for a story. I've covered theme parks more than the cruise.
Then he says bye super quickly, and I completely forgot to ask him if he knows how to get rich, and that was our one chance, and I blew it. But I knew if you set your mind to it, you can achieve it, so we had one more attempt because it was getting late, and the Billionaire event was supposed to happen tomorrow.
Excuse me, are you here for the 40s mixer? Oh, you here for the bar? Oh, okay.
And I failed again, but even after all these rejections and mistakes, I just felt better about my social skills. And I think it was just simply due to the fact that I was just putting myself out there and doing something I wasn't completely comfortable with. But then I got extremely bad news on day 4. So this Billionaire event where you pretty much have to give hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars to the cruise company, my mom said, since we're on a 4-day cruise instead of a 5-day cruise, there was no Billionaire event. But I needed to know the secrets of getting rich fast because I was not trying to work at freaking McDonald's, bruh. Then I realized my grandma knows MrBeast, and I actually know the business partner of Robert Kiyosaki, which is a famous author, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Just those two people alone are worth over $1 billion, so I knew I needed to ask them for advice. So I know the dude that's friends with Robert Kiyosaki, and this friend makes probably around 300 to 500K a month because he says he can buy a house every month if he wanted to. So then I DM him asking for advice. And before I tell you his response, you might be wondering, how did I meet this dude? And we met that rich dude simply by just talking to random people in Barnes & Noble about like self-improvement books. He was in the self-improvement section. We just said, yo, what's up? You know, he was recording his Instagram video. We just asked him what he was doing. We got his Instagram. We eventually networked with him. So hey, that's what happens when you just put yourself out there and talk to people. And before I asked MrBeast for advice, I got a text back from my rich friend, and this is what it said. Actually, turns out this dude never texted me back. He left me on red, bro. I thought me and him were like this. So I was gonna ask my grandma to ask MrBeast for advice on how to get rich, but I've seen hours of podcasts from MrBeast, and if I've learned one thing about him, he works for 10 years learning every single day about making the best video possible, and I know he would tell me this. Because honestly, there's no quick fix. I mean, why am I trying to make $1,000 in a week? There's no quick fix to getting rich. MrBeast would say, if you want to become a billionaire, you have to pick a business like, for me, making self-improvement videos, stick with it for years and keep learning about it every single day until you perfect that business. So you watching right now, yes, I'm talking to you right now, go out there and do that thing or business you know you should start, but you just aren't doing. But if you don't know exactly where to start, we'll give you the exact habits you need to do in this video to start your self-improvement journey. And if you want free self-improvement group calls, join our Discord in the description. We call every Sunday. So click that link in the comments or description.